Whoops, the webcam isn't working again. It is very glitchy. It was working until 5 minutes of, and good thing I have a backup. So, welcome to the conclusion, wrapping up the case of the magic carpet tonight. You can see part of it behind me. This is a sneak peek, wrong colors, sneak peek at our all Pacific Northwest shop hop pattern. But tonight we are finishing up the magic carpet. I have something going on Thursday, so I won't be live on Thursday. May or may not do it on Friday, but definitely back on Monday. And we have to do I have a whole quilt ready to go. I have the fabrics here somewhere, somewhere, and a pattern, and it's also for the All Pacific Northwest Shop Hop. So it's their fabric, so you'll have to be watching for that to get a sneak peek because we do a Bill Rose pattern and have it as a giveaway. So, yay! Let's get to the magic carpet. As we left off, I had some seam ripping to do, which I've done in preparation for today. Good thing I went slow. New blades. I spliced some fabric earlier, so I'm really glad it was just scrap fabric for building the mountain there, not this quilt, because I'd have been pissed. All right, we're going to take that out. We are building the second half. It's not going to take long for us to finish up tonight. So this one will probably not be a long one, but I'm not going to rush it. We'll just see how it goes. All right, let's get to webcam doesn't work. Tablet, and now I'll move this because you don't need. We'll be all over the place tonight. How about that? Let's press this and sew this back together the way it was supposed to be. Because before I got a real awesome handle. It was the first two pieces. First handle on what I was lining up here. So that's okay. We'll get it. Okay. Can't wait to see this one all done. So, I was talking about the All Pacific Northwest Shop Hop, and that is APNW SH. Yeah, I know. Good thing nobody's going to try to make me loop those together into some sort of a word. We should, but I ain't going to do it. Anyway, that starts at the beginning of April, April 1st. And I like to be insane and do more than one thing, I guess, because we did it this past year, so my brain says I got to do it again this year. That one's pressed. So I will be creating two patterns. Not necessarily. I'm creating a pattern, which is the one that was on the board, and I'll be picking a Villa Rosa pattern with it already designed and creating it with the shop hop fabric. And I will be kitting those as well. Good evening. We are picking up where we left off. We're going to wrap up the magic carpet tonight. I was also pre-cutting for the Mountains Are Calling quilt today, as well as looking into different mobile services. Who do you guys have? We have Verizon Family Plan, but if I could get like Mint or something to be as good as as similar of a plan as I have and have it be cheaper, hey, I'd be willing to do that too. So this is one of those. I've been told that Katie Greenland and a couple of others from out of area have been in watching and chatting, and that they think I'm not seeing it. So and whoever's watching is now gone. But I can't see a chat. Currently, nobody is in chat. So I don't know if that's whatever glitch we're having, or there just really isn't anybody chat. And that's fine. I just don't know how to decide if there's a problem. Mm. Warm pop. I don't know how my friend does it. All right. So that's what we needed to do. And I sewed the opposite side. I'm not sure about this contact. Because, like, that's in focus, and that's probably 14 inches from my face. This is not, and I have to do pinning and stuff at this. Do I say, being as I can see at the 14 inches and greater, that they're good and just resign myself to using readers for the close up? I mean, that might not be unreasonable. I'll be turning 55. It seems reasonable that it could be to that point. Here local, this Saturday, I'll be teaching a beginning quilting class. This is my first attempt at teaching this. I wrote the pattern, so, I'm a little nervous about it. I'm going to make sure everybody knows what they're doing, but I might have to stumble through a few things if I missed writing something. Where did Dusty go? Missing a dog. She was at my feet until just before we started, but I had to get that tripod. And I think I bumped her or something. Damn it. So we got exciting stuff coming down. So what do you think about, you can let me know in the comments, about putting up pre-selling kits? I can't pre-sell the fabric, but the kit is all mine, so I think I can do that. And I can put up the pre-sale kits of the one we're going to build on Monday in the private area of the website, just for you guys. What do you think? Ooh, I didn't have the carpet or the rolling chair problem up that when my sewing room was on top of the stuff, and I realized why. I have hand hewn boards down in this lower half, and so my wheels get caught in grooves, and I don't necessarily stop where I think I should be able to stop. And I roll right past the machine. Oh, I didn't pre-wind some bobbins. I don't think we're gonna do that. No. I think I'm becoming a fan of the stay stitch though, so I might need Might not have enough bottom to finish and do that. Do, do, do. Hey, Nancy, being as you have a bunch of time on your hand right now, if you watch this later, hello. I hope you're healing well. Ooh. The other way. No, I got the back tag, because that's not a normal thing for me either. And now we've got this one back together the correct way. Let's make sure though, because I'll be pissed if it's not. Yay! We made our little shape. You know what else? That kind of reminds me of the. And no, I probably will mispronounce the word and then I'll look like an idiot. And it might not look like it anyway. Alright. This is going to be so cool when it's together. Can I bring the fabrics in here? Because I could give you a sneak peek of what we're going to do on Monday. Well, Thursday. Well, not Thursday. Possibly Friday. Definitely Monday. I am up to letter K in my pre-cutting for the mountains are calling. There's just a few dozen million pieces to cut. I did attempt to count how many pieces were in the quilt the first time I did it. And I have a total wrote on it, but as I'm cutting, I think I forgot to count a spot, so I might have to do it again. It's one of those ones you get done, you're like, damn, how big was that? How many pieces? Because you feel like you gotta toot your own horn after it. It is interesting. Somebody recommended we have a an Elizabeth Hartman class, but more of a how to read her patterns class. Where's the mouse? Does this webcam work yet? No, sorry. That's not. All right, what are we doing here? That had to be sewn. Okay, I see. We were working on the second half here. So realistically, it looks like we've got one, two, three more seams. They're big seams, so this might be short tonight. But it would I should have paid attention more last week and stopped a row or so before we did to make it a little more even. Eh, I'm learning. We'll figure it out. Right, let's get those scissors out of the way. Do. You can't see go this way. There we go. Oh boy. Just trying to figure out what little things I could be working on now to give you guys access to some fun stuff that maybe not everybody else gets access to. Some fun things to get into the shop. I got a short period of time that I can load the shop with some stuff for this shop hop. I mean, it's 3 states long. I'm sorry, 3 states big, 2 months long. They didn't give any extra time, but they added a state fair. So I'm thinking about some Bigfoot stuff because Bigfoot was so popular last year, and he's featured in our fabric this year. Anybody see any good Bigfoot stuff? I was thinking some nice stickers for water bottles, etc. And maybe a couple like hang in your she shed or man cave or whatever kind of metal signs. The 8x12s or whatever they are. I actually contemplated writing a little book because I had an idea. I have zero time for that. A children's book. Take all of a day. But I just do not know. Said four scenes. All right, now we've got three. Hey, hi, how's it going? We're finishing up on our magic carpet tonight. Get the picture of what this is gonna look like. There. Obviously not those colors. Well, not obvious, because I guess I got some of these colors right here. But no, technically. And then we're talking about the All Pacific Northwest Shop Lot. Seems to be on my mind tonight. Probably because I was working on the pattern today. Let's see if we can get you guys excited about that. The neat thing is there's a magazine. The magazine has like an ad and information about every single store that's participating, as well as little maps and stuff of different regions. There's 5 or 6 patterns, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that. They're in the book, so people can use the book long after the shop hop for like creating their own little hop with their friends. And there were people that joined the hop last year that I didn't know existed, to be real honest with you. And so I had people all over the country buying this magazine from us that's put out by the shop hop, not by my store. And it's $13.95 this year, I think. I think it was $12.95, and then I was told it's more this year. Everything goes up. Okay, so no. Ah, okay. So this is how it's gonna go. See how it's got these green here? That means the green goes up against it so that when it opens, it makes that shape. Okay. Right, now we're just gonna clip the next one. Here I'll be disconnected, reconnected. Hey, that one person watching. Any chance you could tell me yes that I could still be seen there? Being as everything just went wonky on my end? It would be great. You could say, yeah, you're on. As we're still recording, so hopefully I just have to trust the force. Okay, I'm gonna come down to this end. Okay, I pinned the wrong corners down. So, hold on. There's no way that was gonna work. I, maybe it's nappy time. But I'm not drinking. I can get our corners together so I can roughly find center. From center to this end, find the new center. Oh, which is we have pick a fabric that's not selling very well in the shop. It's been there for a couple of years. Still a lot on the bowl. And then we pick that. It also needs to be a focal print, not a blender or background or something. It's got to be something that would be focal, mean. And then we cut it in half-yard chunks and we do a challenge around it. So for $20, you get half a yard of fabric. You get entered into a challenge. If you do a quilt, it can have no side bigger than 60 inches. And it could be any um, fabric related item. We've had dog coats, we've had mobiles, wall hangings, coats, shirts, um, a diorama. So it doesn't have to even be something that you can, well, I guess you wouldn't wear it, or, yeah, whatever. What else have we had? We've had a Barbie picnic blanket and clothing. I did say the dog jacket, right? Yeah. And the fabric has to be recognizable. It has to be in the quilt and it has to be recognizable. So only once did I disqualify one because you couldn't tell it was our fabric. Although what they did was super. They used this rainbow gel dye of sorts and dyed black, white, and gray swirly type fabric, and then used the back side instead of the front side of the fabric and turned it into an aurora borealis behind whatever they were working on. The problem was I couldn't find the fabric at all until I read it. And then it was like, oh, well, I don't believe that falls in the category of being able to recognize it. So that was sad. That was sad. Oops. I should be having some open the boxes this week because I have approved a few charges that I haven't received yet. What are we getting? I do believe I have a North Top order coming. That one will come later than the others. They always take a while after I place it to get it packed up and shipped. That one's got a couple blenders that we're going to use in the shop hop pattern. Oops, I rolled that seam. Oh, I'm trying so hard. And a couple flannel 108-inch wide back. Fun. Ooh, can you catch that? Kind of. We're gonna just force it. Kind of. Oh, and I grabbed a panel that's a watercolor. I want to say it's fuchsia. The plant person. But think it's fuchsias. Those are going to be pretty. Well, I don't know if anybody's seeing me out in radio land out there because OBS has gone down twice. That's right. Okay. Right, I did it wrong. But I'm going to keep going. It's not going to be for a long time. And then what should I put on the back of those guys? You know, we still have the avocado quilt. I still need to find. Oh no, I didn't. I found a flannel for the back of that, but I did find an avocado panto that I will be purchasing because Lois had to say that it looked like an avocado, which means I have to do that. That's one bad thing about this setup. I don't really have a good spot to press the big thing. It helps that there's no back right here, but oh my goodness. So I'm going to preset this up a little bit because I'm bringing another big piece over. What's in here? Oh, yep, we can talk about this. Okay, I have the fabrics right here for the next project. All right. Now we get to see what this bad boy looks like. That's 90 inches wide, so it's 90 by 108. And this ends up being bigger than I would have expected at what size? Good size. 69 by 75, so it's definitely bigger than I need. Oh, wait, I do have 90 wide blue, but it's more royal. Hello? Out there. Not sure if you can see me. OBS is being a little bit of a pain in the biscuits tonight. And I have disconnected from OBS a couple times already. I'm gonna just keep streaming because honestly, this is the last scene. We are just finishing this up. And if I get enough of you in that want me to go turn right around and start another project, I'll go offline and come back on. But all right, I'm gonna put two clips right here because it looks like that seam was wanting to pull, and I will try to tack that before I get there. So, all right. Here's an end, and Find the quarter mark. Hey now, I can totally do more, but I have a feeling tonight might not be my streaming night. That's like the fourth time OBS is shut down. I don't even know if you can still see me because it shut down in the middle of me talking to you. Technology today might not be my best friend. There it goes again. I mean, if we close this out and I start the project, at least that'll be a turning it off and on again. So that resets something. I don't know. I was going. Problems. Evidently, I am having problems. This is a 301A. One of my customers bought it from another customer. Oh, you piece of shit. I saw that happen. There's the old dog waking up too. Um, and she decided she had way too many machines, and I always wanted one. So this is a long bed, because the others, I'm like, I don't know how long that is, but the others are like half. And this is a slant needle. And maybe turning it down and bringing it all back up is all I gotta do. But, like, this is the last seam of this beautiful quilt. But I'll talk about some stuff with you and see if you want me to turn it off and turn it back on in a new playlist. Should have gotten all my artwork and shit done ahead of time. I have, your classic black and gold. It was my mom's. God, I picked on her. Not how old it is. Non-electronic. Getting out and pushing. Just whatever I could. Boy, am I glad I have it. She didn't get to see me start quilting. I did. We're done. Oh, because I missed a bunch of clips. What happened? I totally missed a whole section. No. Having a little bit of issue. I guess I keep stressing about the damn OBS going up and down. Hi, Daisy. How's it going? You see her? There we go. The blonde is Scully. The one behind her is Watson. Oh. And there you can see the head of Daisy coming out from under the desk here. And I'm really unlucky one of these days you'll get to see her squatting Pete right there. Because she's old. And I'm always afraid it's going to happen. Hi, Daisy. I'm left downstairs by myself running a live. So if she's going to go out, I have to pause for a second. Yeah, I don't know what to do about it except closing it down completely. And I might as well finish this scene. I'm not tech savvy enough to completely know why, other than shit happens. And there are times my son can't stream either because shit goes. Now that I made it downstairs, maybe they could take these out. Who made it downstairs? Maybe you could take these out. And I'm out of oven. Really? Are you having problems with the internet? And how back did I lose oven? A long ass while back here. Shit. I swear I looked and it was sewing. Not well, evidently. Someone said you could rewind the oven and not unthread it. I don't know about that. Should I try it though? It's doing it. Wish I would have known this before. That's what she was saying too. Why the hell hasn't anybody shared this? I wasn't sure because of how it's doing the needle thing, and they showed a newer machine, but it's working. Yeah, I lost my bobbin chicken a long ass time ago too. Wasn't recent. That should do for what we're doing, right? One thing I don't like about the old machine is nothing will go bing. Hey, dumbass. You're bad out of bounds. Okay. And look, I didn't have to rethread my thing. So, right, where? Was one of the spots I was worried about before. Have you picked fabrics for your mountains are calling yet? I hope to get to that soon here on the live. I am cutting fabric. Cutting today. I've gotten through J. Getting ready to start on K. One thing I can tell you though is if you really like a fabric for an area and you're not, you know that you don't have what the fabric requirements are, go look at the cutting instructions. There was something that told me I needed 2/3 of a yard of fabric and I needed 9 inches. So it's daunting to start picking a fabric because you're like, where do I start? But it's fun. Oops, let's flip that. So then I had looked at the yardages and was like, oh crap, I can't do these. So I redesigned my sky. And then when I was cutting stuff out, I'm like, it's, I seriously, I picked some off the sales floor and I checked out 2/3 of a yard because that's what it said I needed. And I cut, it might not have even been a full 12 inches. It might have been, it might have been maybe a 3.5 and a 4.5 inch cut. So actually, I kind of wanted to double back stitch that. So we'll just do it again. I picked it up. All right. So we're going to see if this webcam is working. It is not. Go back to my phone. And is that not working either now? Great. How come that's not working? Reload. Let's see if that does it now. Share your camera. Start. Now let's refresh. Yeah. Oh, great. Why is now it coming through the webcam and saying it's my phone? Or it's not. Okay, well, whatever. I don't know anymore. Okay, tippy toes. We're gonna do center first. Let's take that one. All right. Now, do I have enough up here? Eek. That looks nice. I don't think you can see it all, but let's see. Let me move this a little. Hmm. Will that do it? Yeah, sort of. What do you think of that? Can I tighten it? No, you don't get to see it all the way down, but you get to see this will repeat. This shows up pretty blue on the camera. It is much greener than it's looking, but ooh, it went together easy. I got a couple seams to press still, I think, but hey, that's not too bad. All right, shall we look at? We're gonna go to the call recorder. Thank you. All right, are you familiar with All Pacific Northwest Shop House? Because what's this? I have multiple things in this bag. Does it look? Yeah, good. It's hard to tell. Everybody's camera and equipment shows different. So, all right. The old Pacific Northwest shop hop. This is just a couple pieces of the fabric. This is an interwoven blender. It's from Jason Yenter. Our fabrics are from Jason Yenter this year. This is what I'm going to use as the main fabric. And then I don't know, maybe more purple than blue. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to build the Ahoy quilt. So that means we are putting the bigger, so there's a toss that goes in all directions, but they're smaller. So I'm going to do the directional and I'm going to put those in the big squares and those will be 10.5 inches. And then where the blue is, I'm going to do the gray. And then where the yellow and red, it'll be the purple and blue. So I'm kind of thinking purple where the red is, blue where the yellow is. That way, at least, being as this is a print, these are great clusters, if you can't tell. I'm cutting. I'm going to just place, I'm going to just piece is what this pattern's for. Fussy cutting, fussy cutting. No, wherever it ends up is where it's going to end up. I try not to go too anal about it, especially this guy, because there's so much. Every cut, you'll have something. It doesn't matter. If it gets down to if I go over a hair, it'll show it better. I'll do that. But you would use more of the purple. Okay. So we had a hard time because there's like 4 different blues that they've picked for this. I kind of want this, and I don't have that. And that wasn't one of the blenders that they picked. I have to find something. But I kind of want to have fabric swatches to be able to match it. This is Yenter. All of this is Yenter. So this is all, I mean, probably not. So, no, I can show it because they have it up on their website. I can't get in trouble for this. I was gonna say there for a while we're not allowed to show it, but I don't know if you can see right here. See that purple just is so nice with that. So yes, I brought this home. My plan is the next. No, you haven't seen it before because it was designed for the All Pacific Northwest Shop Hop. Nobody except those of us, 100 and some odd stores in 3 states that are participating are allowed to buy it. It is custom for the hop, just like my one last year. So, and then, um, does this work yet? No. All right. I have, huh, there's a little bit of it, a little bit of it. We are creating a panel. Is that all that printed? That's all that I printed. Um, a lot of panel patterns have you cut down or whatever your 2/3 yards panel to put in the center and then do fun stuff around it. I made a smaller version of this block, snow caps on both, on all peaks. Um, it was a 12-inch finished block and it went in between the big 12-inch panel squares to alternate the sashing. So we took that mountain and enlarged it, and we're going to create like an aurora borealis of the night sky. This blue, a lot darker blue, and a really dark purple. A dark teal like this. Oh, that's too far down. Dark teal like in here is what this one is. Yeah, it's raspberry Toscana. That's a interwoven. This is Riley Blake. Anyway, we're combining some shit. But that's what I have on the wall here. I don't think I can get that. Maybe. Hold on. Let me move this camera. Oh, and I really cinched that down so it wouldn't fall like it did earlier. Whoops. All right. Going to go to oh, this. That is that bottom half, not the colors, obviously. I was just pattern testing. So, and then this will be done at the angle like that, and then we'll build up from the angles there. Let me get more power to this. Thing is, I wasn't planning on using her today. So, kind of cool, huh? It will be dark green and black, kind of a charcoaly black. This is the super light gray, and then this will be orange, painter swirl from J. Wicker Fresh Riley Blake. That's what that is. So that's what's coming up, kind of. So, but what I did last year, and I'm going to do this year, is if I'm stamping your passport, I'm going to give you a free gift. And this company will allow you to pay them to, if you make one of the quilts, you can then send your photo in and they will create the cards with your photo and then your contact information. So my logo was down here and web address, fun stuff there. So that means I have to, besides doing this guy, making sure the pattern works, write the pattern, not just the math that this is, and make sure I have the fabric, print it, all that crap, cut it, get it. I have to do this on a time restraint because I have to be able to get it to them so they can print it. They're fast, but that's April 1st is when that starts. And it's mid-January. So at this moment, I have plenty of time. Whether I'm going to continue to have plenty of time, I do not know. Restore chat. Hey, my chat disappeared. By when? Sorry. There you go. A few things disappeared. I haven't seen before. It will be pretty as you describe it. By when? So I would like to have everything to Villa Rosa Designs by mid-February. Oh, that's not right. Thing to unhook. Um, I think mid-February, very doable. End of February at the latest, but it's still a doable thing, I think. Because honestly, that quilt will go together really quickly. Let me go back over here and go to my phone. Yeah, we met. Yeah, a little ambitious. I had somebody Saturday going, "Why? Why are you doing two?" I'm like, Probably a really good question. And some of it is because, one, people liked the giveaway of the free item that we did. It shouldn't be too difficult. The other one was difficult. I can't take 100% credit for that one. We had an idea, and my friend ran with it. I did the mountains last year. We just modified the mountains, and then she figured out the angles for the top. And I like it. It's going to be a challenge to write and describe how to do it. So that's why I started. I wanted to make sure that this was okay before then I went and stressed about how to do all the angles up at the top there. And I don't have all the colors. And that's okay because I don't need all the colors to test it. I just now need to see what angles we're going to be doing that at. Yeah, I'm insane. I guess because the last pattern did so well. I've not done a pattern before. I've sold more copies of my pattern in 1 year, less than a year, than I have some of the other store-bought ones in the 14 years I've been here. So I'm not tooting my own horn, but it kind of makes you want to try again. So no, it's not going to be curved piecing. That's straight piecing, but it's going to be like, let me put the camera. It's going to be oh, hey, lots of shit in the way. All right, get a couple things moved so I can explain. You will take a piece of paper and then it's inches, so you might make a mark at 2 inches and a mark at 4 inches, and you're going to draw that line across there. Set the next piece over it, sew a straight line, and then you're going to trim the back so it's kind of a stitch and flip. Yet, yeah, just nothing but straight angles. And I think it alternates, but it's going to be. So this is a 4.5 inch square, so this is going to take it straight to there. So that's going to be probably cut 5 inches. And then, yeah, I think it's going to be better if I start with this top piece. That's why I haven't done anything yet. Because when you reverse it and look at it almost like paper piecing, is you start with your big rectangle and then you put this piece on and then this piece on. And so it'll be just a measurement. That's where my friend has done a little bit more of it, and she could probably tell you right off the top of her head. I have to look at this and count squares and see if I can figure out exactly what. And I think what I'm gonna do is see about having her come over here and help me piece it because right where this camera is, right beside the sewing machine when I have this camera comes straight down here, right here. If I remove all this stuff, it's nice and white. I clean all the dust off of it because it piles up. And I have two panel lights that I put here, and I can give it bright for straight down camera shots of step by step. So I can use the cutting board over there, the big cutting table, this cutting spot. We can line up each thing and then photograph each individual section so that it can all end up in the pattern because I know there's no icings. No, no, no. It's going to look confusing because of the angles, but like in paper piecing, if you put this one on first, it's a straight seam, and then you dog ear or stitch and flip like a corner, like snowballing the corners, it's just a different angle. So then you're going to line up your next angle, sew it, press it open, line up the next angle, sew, press open. So it should be fine. But yeah, there's going to be some people that are going to go, what? So I do want to piece one even if it's in different colors, so that I can have that behind the counter and pick it down raw, flip it over so you can see how the seams go. And I think I might actually video. Those are my dogs. I think I'm gonna video it too and have that as a not necessarily downloadable, but in the pattern, go ahead and put the address and just store it in the website so that if somebody needs to see how it goes together, they can go look at the video and have it there. Oh, me neither. I'm terrified and excited, and so this next one I'm gonna put both Bree's name on it and my name on it because she's done a lot of it, and figure out how to give her a little kick of what comes in from the sales of it. Because yeah, and then we found that software that we drew this in, and that ended up being really neat too. So I paid for the software and because it's work, work, work. Great marketing. I hope. I hope. So this is what we're gonna. This is the next one because I do have a time restraint on it, and I am to the cutting fabric stage. I could show you some of those fabrics if you're interested. But that's pretty much all we've got tonight. I'm supposed to go live on Thursday, but I have book club and I actually did something to be social, so I need to do that. I need to be social outside of work because I'm social with all of you guys and then go home and hibernate because I can. So, I'm trying to listen to the audiobook now. We have book club on Thursday, so, and I fucking do a quiz every time, so I gotta pay attention. I gotta, you're not in trouble if you don't pass because I don't pass. I will when they pick the book that I've read 1,000 times. Then I'll pass, I'm sure, because I know it by heart. But unless you want me to show you the fabrics that I picked for the what are we calling it? The Mountains Are Calling, then I think I'm gonna sign off tonight, being as we had a bunch of issues earlier, and I'm done. It's time to take it to the shop now and pick a bag, pick some batting, and get it in line. Now that we got the long arm at the shop and just kind of like filter them in line. I do shop samples first. And this one technically could be a shop sample because I could buy the pattern, but I don't have any of these fabrics. So then I spend the entire time going, nope, out of that fabric. Well, let's see. Enjoy. It's not all cut. And I won't, let's see, I'm going to move there. Okay, I can hear my dogs barkity barking. Okay, we have got. Look at the snow here. It's not the picture. Yeah. If you look at the snow-capped mountains, this tall one is going to start with this, which is a swirl, and then it's going to go to this dot, and then D, which is this guy, and then E, which is the gray. So that's how this one's going to go down. Right next to the E is going to be C, and that's this guy. So that's the mountains. Up in here, we're going to have these are different colors for my flying geese, etc. With this as the night sky. or the back of the sky so that these will pop. Next thing I'm cutting is this ground in here, which is this. None of the dogs are in here. I should probably check on Daisy. Whoops. And I'm still not exactly sure the two that are going to be this, but now you're going to be looking at K. Here is L. So there's going to be the tree trunks. And then for trees, we're going to have those. I think the others are off. So I just have a few dozen more things to do. Batiks is the only way to go on this, in my opinion. Oh, good. He's getting Daisy. The Daisy girl gets along. That's her soul. All right. Well, now that's all I've got to make then. K is the next one I'm cutting. These were thrown in because I loved them, but I don't think they're going to go in there anyway at all. I love this, but it just didn't work. Oh, maybe. I see it's just hanging out in here, so maybe one of those will be P. But this is next. And that's it. That's it. That's it. I have colors I like for the sun, moon, whatever, but they're not batik. And part of me is like, I have batik, everything else. I want to stay batik. So we'll see how that goes. All right, Nanette, it was great to catch up with you. I will be here Friday or Monday. I might just wait until Monday. I'm not sure. But that is for tonight. We've closed this case. All the evidence came together. This in the evidence room, in the cold case. Completed cases. There we go. It's closed. All right. Now I got one more person watching and I'm done. Oh well, that's okay. Happens all the time, I guess. Yes, please try to find me. Hit the bell is supposed to alert you when I go live. So hit that and that might help. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody. The subscribes has gone through the roof this week. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I went up like 18 in 10, 11 in like 2 days. So wow, it's amazing. I can't believe it. So I will see you all next time. I'll shoot for Friday, and we will get going on the Ahoy quilt because I need to get that moving. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.